Hi, my name is Bandy, and this is my channel Bandysbooks. Today we are back for another 5-minute book review, and my buddy Gibson is going to be joining me, looking cute as always. If you haven't seen my 5-minute book reviews before, look for this link up here. It's going to link to the playlist of previous videos. You okay, buddy? We good? Alright, so now that Gibson's done sneezing and everything, link up here for the playlist for my other 5-minute book reviews. Today we're just going to talk about some highs and lows of some books that I have read recently, and I'm going to give you an overall star rating, what I thought about it. Again, as always, my opinion is not concrete. There are many diverse opinions out there about every book, so take this with a grain of salt. If you seem to, agree with my particular book taste, then maybe this will be a good directive for you, and if you have different tastes than me, that's totally okay too. All good. I just hope you enjoy the video either way. Alright, so the book we're going to be talking about today is a book that I picked up around October, the beginning of October. I was in my local bookshop and I was perusing the horror section and I saw this copy. I had heard about this particular author several times over because he had another book that was quite well known for being like a mind-blowing psychological thriller. And this was pinned to be the next mind-blowing psychological thriller by him. I love a good psychological thriller, suspense, horror, all that, and then to add to it, this has this dark academia vibe to it. So I picked it up thinking this was going to be an amazing read. That book is The Maidens by Michaelides. So let's talk about first what I really like about the book. So I like that Mariana, the main character, is a really dedicated aunt. Her niece Zoe is at school at Cambridge when a murder occurs of one of Zoe's friends, and this leads Mariana back to campus. She hasn't been back to Cambridge since her husband has passed away because there's too many precious memories there and it triggers too many emotions. But Zoe calls, she's upset, her friend's been murdered, and the good aunt that Mariana is, she heads off to be with her, and that kind of leads her into an investigation of some people on campus. She ends up suspecting Professor Fosca, who is the Greek tragedies professor. And what ensues is kind of an interesting cat and mouse game. So I really liked Mariana and the way that they characterized her as an aunt. I thought that was really authentic. If I had a niece and she was in that situation, I would be doing very similar things to what Mariana's doing. I also really like the characterization of Professor Fosca. He is an easy villain. He comes off as such an arrogant jerk. Every time that you interact with him, he just gives you the heebie-jeebies. I can think of guys like him that I've met in real life, and they're just always so gross. So he's really easy to hate from the start. And then add to it the groupies that follow him around dressed in white and act all pious and holier than thou. Ugh, it's just creeped me out to no end. So that was great. I also really liked the scene setting. I thought that they really covered the dark academia vibes well. The feel of being at a college campus in the fall, it really was captured, effectively throughout this book. I think the cat and mouse dynamic between Professor Fosca and Mariana, when Mariana comes to suspect him, is excellently done. He just creeps me out. There's several interactions where you're just oh, I know this guy's guilty, but then Mariana also comes across as an unreliable narrator, so it's kind of interesting. Is this all through her perception? Is she making things more than they are? Is he really as creepy as she perceives him? It's very interesting. And yeah, I thought that part was all really, really well done. I think the things that I disliked, I felt like the ending was very rushed. A lot happens in a really short period of time, and I felt this way about Michaelides' other book, The Silent Patient. He really effectively builds this creepy, tense vibe throughout the book. He just very slowly and languidly sets the scenes and gives you all the pieces of information. And then it's the ending is just wham! And I get that plot twists are supposed to be unexpected, so you want them to happen quick, so that the audience doesn't necessarily have time to figure it out. But for me, it was too rushed, in both cases, but particularly in this book, I felt it just was, it was a 180-degree turn without any warning, and it wasn't explained super well to me. The other thing is that I figured out the plot twist halfway through the book. And for me, if I figure out the plot twist that quickly it's not a good plot twist. I think the thing is that, like, I almost always figure out plot twists. And I don't try to. It's not like I dig into the book like, oh my god, I gotta figure out what's going on. But as I read, like, I start going, oh, this is a red herring, or oh, this is that. And I start to figure out what's gonna happen. And if it's a good suspense, psychological thriller, whatever, it usually takes me to the end before I figured out the plot twist. Or maybe I figure it out partially, but not the whole thing. Or on a rare occasion, something catches me off guard. In this case, like I said, halfway through the book, I called what was going to happen at the end. And for me, that kind of ruined it when that's exactly what happened. I felt like he was very heavy-handed in his red herrings and his misdirects. And that's why I was able to figure it out, is that there was... In The Silent Patient, there was a lot more subtlety. It took me a lot longer to figure out where the book was going and what the twist was, because the misdirects were very subtle. But in this book, I felt like it was like neon signs, look this way, so you're not paying attention to the thing that's happening over here. And it just didn't work. The sleight of hand was not effective. So for me, a cool book, a cool story, you know, pretty cool characters, good tension, but just not all the way nailed. I ended up rating this at 3 stars because the plot twist wasn't effective, and like the main conclusion of the story rides on that plot twist. Again, you know, there's lots of people that really loved this book. I am happy for you if you love it. I don't think it's a bad book. I think that Alex Michaelides is a really good writer. Like I said, he's a really effective at description. And if you're into suspense, this still might be a good thing to try. For me, it just kind of fell a little bit short. So I think that's about all I have to say about this one. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Okay, so this has been another 5-minute book review. If you liked this review, please give me a thumbs up. And in the comments, let me know what you think of Alex Michaelides. Is he the master of plot twists, or are you on my page and kind of so-so? And if you haven't read him, tell me if you plan to read him. And if you haven't hit the subscribe button already, please do so and consider hitting the notification bell so you never miss one of my posts. I do post 4 times a week. I post Tuesdays, a Tag Tuesday video where I do some kind of, you know, theme tag to tell you about the books I'm reading, what's going on, etc. Wednesday is going to be a 5-minute book review. Thursday is going to be like a long-form book-related topic like book hauls, TBRs, end-of-the-month wrap-ups, blogs, etc. And on Fridays, I do a fictional book-based recipe where I take a book like The Maidens, and whenever there's a food item mentioned, I tag it, come back to it, write myself a recipe, and then teach you how to cook it. If you're interested in any of those things, then I'm definitely the channel for you. So thank you. Again, I'm Caitlin Bandy. This is my buddy Gibson, and this has been Bandysbooks. Thanks. Bye.